I don't think any of you don't know who I am, but I'm Matt Hankins. I'm the Assistant Town Manager for the town of Rocky Mount, and it was my pleasure on behalf of the town to manage this project along with our fantastic contractor on behalf of our town council and town administration. I'd like to welcome you all to this dedication of this building. This has been a long time coming. The town council has set this as a goal for more than a decade, and we've been working on this since late 2011 here at this site. It has been a real labor of love, one for us that feel a real strong sense of community here. What we can do in terms of building this community, making it better, drawing people to it, and seeing what Rocky Mount has to offer. I would like to welcome some folks that we have here today. We do have most of our town council members here. Council members including the mayor, Steve Angle, is here. Bobby Cundiff, Billy Wayne Stockton, Bobby Moyer, Greg Walker, Ann Love, and council member-elect John Sneed is here as well. We do have a couple of members of the Board of Supervisors, including Chairman David Cundiff and Bobby Thompson. Did I miss anybody? Those are the only two that I saw. We do have our town attorney here as well, John Boitnott. We have members of our Economic Development Administration Authority, including Peggy Santrock, Ann Dillon, John Sneed, Les Hutchinson, our chair, and Adam Lynch, our vice chair. From our Planning Commission, we have Janet Stockton, our chair, and John Spidell, our vice chair. As far as staff goes, we do have James Irvin, our town manager. We do have some guests here from Ferrum College. I saw Vaughn and Vaughn Webb and Roddy Moore coming in. Thank you all for coming to this. We also like to recognize the folks here from Carter Bank. I saw, I think, at least 4 here from Carter Bank. Most of you know that Carter Bank is one of our investors on the historic property tax credits. Also see coming from across the street our county administrator, Rick Huff. Would like to also recognize a few other guests here, including from the contractor. We have the owner of Price Buildings, Haven Price, along with the project manager, Bill Sampson, and the project superintendent, Rodney Spencer. We do have from the architect, David Hill and Hunter Green. Mr. Hill owns Hill Studio, and Hunter Green was the lead architect on this project. Vicki Gardner from the Smith Mountain Lake Chamber of Commerce is here. We also have a number of members of the media who are here, and we'd also like to thank the members of our corporate sponsor, Grand Home Furnishings. I think we have someone here from Grand as well. And last but not least, my wife Dulcie's here. Thanks for putting up with me for the last couple of years as I've been going through this. To begin this dedication, I'd like to welcome up to the podium Mayor Steve Angle.
Thank you, Matt. Can you believe what's sitting here behind us? As Matt said, over a decade ago, Town Council started talking about possibly having a music venue here in Rocky Mount to associate with our naming as part of the Crooked Road, easternmost gateway of the Crooked Road. Well, after some time and studies and looking, this Harvester Performance Center is much more than just connected to the Crooked Road. It's offering all different genres of music for anybody that wants to come in and hear excellent music, as you can judge from some of the acts we've had here so far. This is certainly something to be proud of, something that will generate economic for Rocky Mount and Franklin County. There's so many people I'd like to thank. I'm afraid I'm going to forget somebody, but there are definitely a few I'd like to say a big thank you to. First of all, to the present Rocky Mount Town Council. Thank you for your foresight and support for this venue, because without that it would not be here. Also to past councils as well for their continuing the support and drive so that this Harvester Performance Center can come to fruition. Also, a big thanks to Matt Hankins. Matt has done a tremendous amount of lifting in this job, and actually I've probably seen more of Matt in the past year and a half than his wife has, because he spent the majority of his time here in the town offices making sure that this gets off the ground and starts flying. Also, many thanks to Town Manager James Irving. James has been a driving force behind this as well. There's so many people, Vice Mayor Greg Walker and Councilwoman Ann Love, for serving on the committee to help study and plan this so we could get this off the ground. Architects, builders, I know some of those people are going to come speak here in just a moment, so I won't say much more about them. But we are thrilled that you're here. If you have not seen a show in the Harvester, please make an effort to do so. I think you will be very, very pleased with the musical acts that our general manager, Gary Jackson, has been able to get in here with the help of his assistant, Sheila Silverstein, who's doing a lot of publicity for us at the time, because, you know, if you're a resident of Rocky Mountain, Franklin County, the surrounding area, you know, you can't turn very much anymore without hearing something about the Harvester Performance Center, and that's a very, very good thing. So again, on behalf of the town of Rocky Mount, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your continued support for the Harvester Performance Center, and please, please come to a show. Thanks again.
Before I bring up the town manager, there are a couple of other folks here that I'd like to recognize. The mayor mentioned Sheila Silverstein, standing here with a very large pair of scissors, is our assistant general manager, and also here in the back, the executive director of the Crooked Road, Jack Hinshelwood. Thanks for coming, Jack. Our next speaker is our town manager, James Irving.
What's made out of brick sounds great and brings 1,000 people to shop in Rocky Mountain a week, and that's the Harvester. The Harvester itself, though it's impressive, what's really impressive from my perspective is how we got here. Excuse me. It's hard for any local government to do anything nowadays. It's hard for the federal government to even balance their books. It's hard for the state government to even pass a budget. But in Rocky Mount, we had a vision for a decade, and we stuck to it. I want to make a few comments on how this is actually standing here, because it's really worth noting. One of the things that you can't buy in local government that Rocky Mount has in abundance is consensus and vision of the elected officials. We've gone through 3 elections since beginning this process, and we've carried this vision forward. We've kept rolling it forward. We've kept sticking to it. So we've had leadership that said, hey, let's do this. Let's make this work. Let's stick to our plan. Combine that with staff, and Mr. Hankins and his staff and the rest of the town folks who've been involved in this, the initiative that they had, you can almost accomplish anything. There's no limit to what you can do if you believe and you have the initiative. And that's where we're standing here today in front of a building that's paid for, that's bringing 1,000 people a week here that wouldn't otherwise be coming here. I believe it was on the weekend we had the Whalers here. Ippy's reported a record-setting weekend. And that's just the beginning of what we want to see. Mr. Hankins and I have said for years, and we've said it with council, that there's a reason why all of those people go to Orlando, and it's not the cheap flights, it's because there's things to do. It's what they want to go do. And what we're doing here is the biggest step we can take in the economic development of Rocky Mountain, of saying we value ourselves, we are worth believing in, we are worth investing in, we are a place on the map. We're not going to give up our downtown without a fight. We do love our big box retailers, but we love our downtown, we love our brick and mortar stores, we love the places that create our sense of home even more. Now I will tell you, as a manager, you can do a lot of ribbon cuttings. Most of them are fake because they're things you have to do. You've got to build a water plant, you've got to build a police department, you've got to build a sewer plant. It is a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence as a manager to get to do something that you don't have to do, that represents risk-taking and vision. To have elected officials over a decade that are willing to risk and have vision is an amazing thing. And if you are out and amongst those people, pat them on the back, because it's hard. It's so hard to do that, to carry that forward. It's so lacking at the state level, it's so lacking at the federal level, that we're going to risk and have vision. So I really want to say, as a manager, I really thank the councils I've worked for the last 8 years, because it has been a pure joy to actually say, let's do amazing things. Let's get together and accomplish. I also personally want to thank Matt. I know that the jokes with Dulcie are real. This is something that was right up Matt's wheelhouse because of his personal love, his personal, vigor, having to do with music, having to do with developing our economy, having to do with creating a sense of place. And it would not be as successful if it weren't for Mr. Hankins. And I know he had hair down to his back that was pitch black when we started this process. And he was also 50 pounds lighter when we started Uptown, and that kind of took it out. But one thing to keep in mind, you have a fantastic community here, because none of this could happen without y'all's support, growing that support upward. We're blessed that you let us risk. We're blessed that you support us. So thank you.
Thank you, James. One of the things that we've talked about a lot, but I'll repeat it here, as far as the funding goes, this is a large project. It's about a $2.7 million project when it's all said and done. Of that, the town taxpayers are responsible for no more than 45% of the cost. Historic property tax credit investors are responsible for paying for more than $1 million of the cost, and the Virginia Tobacco Commission is responsible for another $500,000. In light of their contribution, we'd now like to ask Franklin County Board of Supervisors Chairman David Cundiff, who is a member of the Tobacco Commission, to come and say a few words.
Thank you, Matt. Representing the Tobacco Commission today, I'd just like to say that we worked hard together. Matt called me one morning at about 7:30, we was both headed down the road. He said, look, I need some more help in getting some funding for the harvester. That night, started working on some people. The next morning, it became a reality. And with that, we just want to appreciate and thank everyone for being a partner in this. Coming from a Board of Supervisors standpoint, this is, as the town manager said, an economic driver for the county also. And from the police department standpoint, it brings a lot of people into Rocky Mount. And with that, increased traffic, increased volume, increased pedestrians crossing. And you know, we do our best to try to handle all the situations that arrive. And with the help of the town, with the help of everyone here, it makes it a reality, and it makes it a progress that's going forward, and we appreciate it and thank everyone. Thank you.
We do have on your program that Senator Stanley was going to be given the opportunity to speak, and I understand that he's either been delayed or is not going to be able to be here this afternoon. So would like to recognize the contributions that he made in helping us with the Tobacco Commission funding as well. At this time, I'd like to ask a couple of members of Town Council's Performance Center Committee, Ann Love and Greg Walker, to come forward and unveil the plaque that dedicates this building.
Thanks, okay. All right, go ahead and do it quickly.
Ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
This time, I would like to call up a couple of the project representatives to say just a few brief remarks. I would invite David Hill and Hunter Green to come up and speak about the architecture of the project.
David's a landscape architect in our office, and I'm the architect. And this project was a lot of fun to work on. I'm not going to talk about architecture because it turned out to be a really good team of people, both contractor, the owner, and I have to say that the town really stepped up on this project. They kept saying, no, we want this to work well. We want it to be a fun place to go to and great music, and it's turned out that way. I've been to numerous shows, and I highly recommend that you come to some more. I live in the Roanoke area, and I always dread driving down here. But once I drive back, I'm all energized, and it's just fun. So, thank you.
And one more project representative, I'd like to ask Haven Price with Price Buildings, Rocky Mount, to come up.
Well, our company is a Franklin County company. It was born in Franklin County, and most of our 50-plus employees live in Franklin County. So we were interested in being part of this project from the start. And we just think it's a great venue. It's something that's unusual. There's nothing like it in any part of this Virginia. I want to thank especially Bill Sampson, our project manager, and Rodney Spencer, who was our superintendent and looked after the job. But while I'm up here, I just want to point out, and I know it's been alluded to, the amount of time and energy that Matt Hankins put into this. This became a team build between the architect and the town and our company. And it was fun. It was good because we all worked together, we had a common goal, and Matt was the leader and he led. So we all owe him a debt of gratitude if we appreciate what's standing here today. Thank you.
All white hair and weight gain jokes aside, it was a pleasure to do this job, and it was a pleasure to work with a great team. I will tell you that this is the farthest I've got into a major project like this without any of us threatening to sue one another. So that makes it a good project in my book. Yeah, you're right, we're not quite done, so we'll reserve judgment on that. At this time, I'd like to ask the members of the Economic Development Authority of the town of Rocky Mount, which we couldn't have got the tax credits had we not set up an Economic Development Authority and created that body, along with the members of town council, to come forward, and we'll cut the ribbon and dedicate this building.
Y'all say when, y'all got the cameras. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you got it?